animated anthology, Predator Killer of Killers places the iconic creature in 3 stories from 3 uniquely different cultures in human history. The first is a Nordic-themed tale of revenge called The Shield. The second sees 2 estranged brothers in a power struggle in Japan called The Sword. The final story, called The Bullet, takes place during World War II, with an American whose dreams of becoming a Navy pilot are realised when his unit is in danger. The choice to make this an animated film is inspired, as it allows directors Dan Trachtenberg and Joshua Wassung the opportunity to explore 3 distinctly different stories in a scope that would be difficult to achieve in a live-action format. The work carried out by animation company The Third Floor is stunning and lends itself to the high levels of action and brutality on display, with some of the kills in the film standing amongst the best in the entire series. What makes the film work so well, and one of the reasons why its predecessor Prey was such a big success with fans and critics alike, is its focus on character. Each story functions on their own terms before a Yautja is thrown into the mix. The thing that ties each of the stories together is how driven each of the main characters are, for different reasons, and the way they are handled in each story makes you care about them, which in turn enhances the terrific action sequences throughout. That said, there are a few throwbacks to other films in the series, but it never detracts with what we are presented with. The best example of this can be found in Benjamin Wallfisch's great score, which contains some callbacks to the 1987 original by Alan Silvestri, but he weaves it in perfectly to the distinctly different cultural backdrops of each story, helping to propel the action and sense of peril. The first story, The Shield, takes place in 841 AD and sees Viking warrior Ursa leading her clan on a bloody quest for revenge against the leader of the Krivich tribe, Soren, who is responsible for the death of her father. It is a very muscular story, and one which meditates on the nature of revenge in a satisfying manner. It does a great job of establishing how brutal the violence is going to be before the predator even shows up, as limbs fly and blood sprays across the screen. It is a strong start to the film, and one which assures viewers that this film isn't going to hold back. The action then moves to the Edo era of Japan with The Sword, which opens with 2 brothers, Kenji and Kiyoshi, who are forced to fight each other for the right to become their father's successor. 20 years later, after the father dies, Kenji sees it as an opportunity to seize power for himself. Out of all the scenarios that could include a predator, this seems to be the one that fans have been clamouring for the most. The biggest strength in this segment is its focus on the visual storytelling, as it is almost entirely dialogue free, with shot compositions flowing with an elegance amidst the bloody violence. The final story, The Bullet, takes place in 1942 and follows World War II naval draftee Torres. It offers audiences something they've never seen before in the series, with some impressive aerial dogfight sequences, as Torres' unit are in a fight for survival against a Yautja enemy. The kinetic nature of the shot movements and the underdog nature of Torres as a character are what make this segment really tick. This is just before the grand finale, which is not just a wonderful convergence for what we have seen throughout the film, but it potentially offers us an insight into what Dan Trachtenberg has in store for the series to come. Usually with anthology films there is a weak link somewhere along the way, but this is not the case here. It is an absolute blast that pays reverence to the series in the best way possible, whilst carving its own path forward.